It is 2:10. This is the Auburn Township 2021 budget hearing. For the record, we have received an updated budget from the fiscal officer, Fred May. It resolved the issues with the transfer in, transfer out balance, and a couple of other notes were made with regard to ending balances. Kristen, do you need to read the revenue? Has anything changed in revenue, or can you waive that?
I'm going to just read the fire fund.
Okay.
Because that's the one that changed. So they submitted their 2021 tax budget with a beginning cash balance of $117,669.06, requesting revenue in the amount of $738,468.90, which includes a $75,000 transfer in from the general fund. We're going to certify the $802,699.43. Expenses are showing at $878,915.24, leaving an ending cash balance of $41,453.25.
Any questions from the board? Any other comments?
Yeah, I emailed the trustees. I mean, I don't want to rehash this whole thing, but, Fred, I know I emailed you and you'd sent me an email and I responded, and I appreciated your comments and the, I guess your letter, which was buried in the Sugar Valley Times. But and it's, Fred, you're not the first or last one to go back to the trustees meeting and throw the budget commission under the bus for what went on at one of these meetings. But I just, it really, all three of us voted no on your budget. There were some fatal errors, and I wish some of the, I don't know that your trustees, and I like all your trustees, but I don't know if any of them have ever been to any of these meetings since I've been here. So again, some trustees attend, some don't. I wish yours would, so that they don't have to rely on the video I watched of you explaining what went on at Budget Commission. I'm not a fiscal officer, I'm not an accountant, I'm a lawyer. These numbers aren't my things, but we all look at these reports in different ways. And Fred, a few years ago, you had to adjust your budget $1 million for misstated actual beginning balances. So, I do know what I'm doing in some respects. We all look at these numbers in different ways. And all of us, I think for different independent reasons, voted no on the last budget. And I just would appreciate if you'd work with us instead of, accusing us of politicking, which I wasn't, because I really, I call them as I see them, and I don't play favorites, and, and I represent all these entities. But if there's a problem, the only one, let's be honest, most of these trustees are not taking a deep dive on these budgets. I'm sorry. They should, but they aren't. And if we weren't looking at this, nobody's looking at it. No taxpayers pay attention to this stuff. They should, but most of them wouldn't even understand it or know where to start. So that's why we exist, to look at this. And I'm giving you a speech that I should give 20 other people, so you just have to hear it. But that's where we're coming from, and there's checks and balances in our system. We're one of those, and that's what we're doing here. So that's all I wanted to say, my piece. But I appreciate that you took the time. I mean, Chuck drove down to Auburn and sat with you and helped you straighten this out, which to his credit is very nice, and the level of service that I don't think many county auditors provide. But I'm glad it got straightened out. It looks good now. You're still running hot in your fire fund, but that is what it is. Right. So I mean, you do transfer money there when you need to, and that's what you've got laid out here. So I'm fine with the budget now, but I just want you to know where I was coming from.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Jim. And I'll reiterate that. I made comments at our trustees meeting that weren't warranted. They were reactionary and off the cuff. And I should have informed myself better about the the concerns that you had in the process before making the comments that I did. And like you said, luckily Chuck came down and sat with me, and we went through the budget, went over the concerns that the commission had, and got a further explanation of the report that I received from the commission. So I was able to internalize that and make more sense of it, and then go back and address those concerns in the budget. So again, I apologize again. I have no problem doing that, and I look forward to working with the commission in the future. And like you said, working with and not using the commission as an excuse to dismiss concerns in the budget.
No, I appreciate that. And it really, your situation wasn't that bad. I mean, we voted no on a number. You were probably the least offensive of the budgets that we kicked back, I would say,
Yeah.
that day. So, I mean, yours wasn't even that big of a deal. There was one little bit of a fix. So it wasn't a big deal. I understand that, you know, the nature of this, sometimes you get blindsided a little. So, I mean, that part's on us. So I appreciate that. But I'd make a motion to approve it.
I'll second.
Do you have anything, Donna?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'll second.
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Fred.
Thank
Again,
you.
thanks for-
Thank you.
Thanks for fixing the issues, appreciate it.